Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger exposes the truth about the Matt Canada offense and details how exactly his offense works behind the scenes. So, Ben Roethlisberger on his podcast, Footballin' with Ben, talked about the Matt Canada firing and stuff of that nature. As we all know, Matt Canada was the offensive coordinator for the Ben Roethlisberger's last season, and then the year before that, he was his quarterback's coach. So obviously, he has some familiarity with him and knows exactly how it works to be in that style of offense. And just recently, after the firing, he went on the podcast, was kind of shocked about the firing, but had this response as to what went on behind the scenes. Here it is. I've never seen a team with two coordinators before. I would say this, as long as I've been there, I worked really closely with the offensive coordinator. That was intentional, almost to the point where I felt like at one point, Bruce Arians early on didn't want a quarterback's coach. Quarterback coaches are the go-between when you're butting heads with the coordinator. I've always worked closely with the coordinator. Even when I had a quarterback coach, I didn't feel that with Matt. It almost felt like Matt wanted to let the quarterback coach me. Right or wrong, maybe it's just the way he does it. Maybe he just didn't want to do it with me. I don't really know that. That was the first time I felt I wasn't working directly with the coordinator. It seems weird. Maybe that is why Kenny feels more comfortable with Sully. Maybe the same thing was going on where Matt was more removed. I'm the coordinator, I'll coordinate, you work with Sully. So that's what Ben Roethlisberger had to say. That was his quote. And if you just think about that really quickly, I know Matt Canada's fired and we all want to drop the Matt Canada situation, but just going back to it, if you think about it, for the 2.5 or almost 3 full seasons with Matt Canada as a coordinator, if what Ben Roethlisberger is saying is true, obviously it's true about his situation in that 1 year, but if it's true for the other 2 seasons, you're basically hindering all of the process of kind of raising up Kenny Pickett to be the quarterback. Because obviously as a coordinator, you're the one who was making the offense. You would think you would be in touch or at least talking to the quarterback, the main point of your offense, the person who's throwing the ball, the person who's handing off the ball. That's a focal point of your offense, a quarterback. You would think that the coordinator who's actually calling the plays, designing the plays, would have some type of relationship and be able to be in touch with the quarterback and kind of understand the offense. Because if Ben Roethlisberger is saying is true about the Kenny Pickett situation, and it might be the same with him, Kenny Pickett is a rookie coming into this league. He kind of needs kind of understanding of the offense and kind of a coach to help him. And obviously the quarterback's coach is supposed to do that, but the quarterback's coach is not calling the offense. He's not the one designing the plays. It was Matt Canada calling the plays. And if Kenny Pickett and him don't have a relationship, then how's the offense supposed to work? How are they supposed to be on the same page with everything that's going on? But Ben Roethlisberger said that he didn't have that relationship with Matt Canada. And you've seen that sometimes. You've seen that whenever the offense stalled out. The offense would stall out the whole game, and then in the 2-minute situation, or whenever Ben Roethlisberger started calling his own plays, the offense would switch around and be good. And obviously that has to do with the relationship, because maybe they were on the same page for the play calls. And then when he does it, obviously he's going to be on the same page with his players. That's why it was so much better. Usually as a coordinator and quarterback, you're supposed to work hand in hand. A coordinator is supposed to design plays and kind of run the offense to the quarterback's strength, or at least the team's strength in general. If your team's strength is running the ball and your quarterback is more of a play action type of quarterback, then you're going to design it to his liking. But if you're having no relationship with your quarterback and you don't design plays to his liking because you kind of don't understand him well, then how's the offense even supposed to work? And that's why this week it seemed like it was so much better with Mike Sullivan. And maybe Ben Roethlisberger was right that Kenny Pickett had better relationship with Mike Sullivan instead of Matt Canada, because you look at the offense, it kind of looked better, even though they still only scored 16 points. This was what Ben Roethlisberger had to say about it. I think that everybody, offense, defense, everybody kind of felt like this was a newness. Right or wrong, or for whatever reason, Everyone was like, we are hitting the reset button. Let's see what happens. I imagine the defense felt some kind of way because they got to rest. It was silly coaching for a full-timer thing. Moving forward, I don't know. Only Coach T and Mr. Rooney know that. But you look at how much better the offense played with Mike Sullivan in terms of Kenny Pickett actually being on timing with his throws and kind of knowing the plays. Maybe it's because of that relationship that he had with Mike Sullivan that he didn't have with Matt Canada. Maybe it was because he was more on the same page with Mike Sullivan and he was the middleman between Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett. Whenever Kenny Pickett needed to talk to something, he would talk to Mike Sullivan. So now Mike Sullivan is on the same page with Kenny Pickett right out the gates, and he knows what to do. He knows what he likes. He's his quarterback's coach. You would think that a quarterback's coach who is a full-time quarterback's coach is with the quarterback nonstop all day, every day. You would think that he would have understanding of the quarterback. So maybe that's why it's helping Kenny Pickett a little bit more. You would think that Matt Canada, when he was the quarterback's coach for Ben Roethlisberger that one season, the last season of Randy Fichtner, you would think that him moving over to offense coordinator, he would have an understanding of Ben Roethlisberger, understanding of how he likes to play, what he likes to do. But the offense, maybe he just didn't have that same relationship, and that offense the next season didn't do good. So hopefully now Mike Sullivan, who's been in this league a long time, has been with the New York Giants playing calling. Hopefully him having that relationship with Kenny Pickett is able to transfer that obviously Matt Canada did not build with his quarterbacks per Ben Roethlisberger. But with that being said, Calvin Austin and Eddie Faulkner, he was there speaking to the media about what's kind of different from this week or this past week compared to previous weeks. Calvin Austin said that kind of focusing on the details, having group meetings, having player and coaches meetings, and kind of having an understanding of exactly everything that's going to happen on any given Sunday, knowing exactly in detail what is going to happen and why it's happening, and not have you guessing, oh, why is this happening? Why is that happening? You have a full understanding of exactly what's happening from a coaching and player standpoint every given Sunday. And that's what Calvin Austin said was the difference. Having more focused details on game day. And that's exactly what Eddie Faulkner said as well when speaking to it. Having more meetings, having more understanding, having more of a player and coach's relationship, and kind of focusing on every single detail and not leaving anything else. That's what both of them had to say is what's different as of right now. And that's a good thing because the details were something the Pittsburgh Steelers struggled with from a player standpoint and from a coaching standpoint. From a player standpoint, all those penalties, maybe players not playing as much, not getting targets as much, but when you know exactly what's happening and why it's happening, it makes it easier of understanding for a player and their ego not to take a hit. And same with the coaches. If you have a full understanding of everything about your player, then you're going to have a better understanding of the offense and your team's going to be performing even better doing it for each other. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. But let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about the situation of Big Ben exposing the truth about why him and Matt Canada's relationship didn't work out and the offense didn't work out and Matt Canada not having that trust and that cooperation with him? And do you believe it's been the same way with Kenny Pickett, where Mike Sullivan is really the one coaching and Matt Canada is just there in the distant calling plays? Do you believe that was the case? Let me know down in the comments below. And if it was, how do you think it's hindering Kenny Pickett's development as a quarterback? Let me know your thoughts. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like serious content, analysis, reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well so you get notified whenever I post next year's video. I cover everything Pittsburgh Steelers, news, rumors, highlights, reports, reactions, film breakdown, everything. So if you want to stay updated with everything Steelers, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.